Titan Zed here, back to another video review. After doing Fall of Cybertron, Voyager class Soundwave and Sound Blaster, which took 9 takes, we're moving on to hopefully which won't take as many takes, namely because I don't have as much stuff in the way. Fall of Cybertron, Voyager class Blaster. Yes, very nice. Unlike him, I don't have a second mold. They didn't do the blue version of Blaster, which would have been awesome to let loose upon the world. I kind of wish they did. That would be kind of cool to own as well. For those who don't know, in the Japanese Headmaster series, Blaster got killed while fighting Soundwave, and Soundwave got killed too. Soundwave got turned into Sound Blaster, and Blaster got turned, was it Blaster Wave? I can't remember what his name was when he got turned, and I really don't want to look it up right now. When I do the cassette review of the Autobot cassettes, I'll see if I can't include that in. But it is a remold. As you see, he has a different chest. And yes, most people put that flat, but I put it at an angle. Again, there's this huge gap, and you can still kind of see it with this particular chest bit, but yeah, but you can bend that down, so that's kind of cool. I kind of wish they had cut off these bits when they made him, remolded this, and took off the front end of those cow catchers that Soundwave has. I kind of wish they took those off, and I may try to cut those off at one time in the future, I don't know. And he does have remolded wheels as well, that's really nice. And he still has the damn seat. Oh, right, that peg, unlike Soundwave, who has his shoulder cannon, Blaster as his blaster, which is actually nice. I'm glad they included that bit and not just put on a different colored version of his weapon. This transforms pretty much the same, but I'm going to show you what I do for a boombox mode, which is different from Soundwave's cassette format. And the reason I say it's different because I do actually change certain ways stuff moves and hangs off and such. Bear with me. Now, Blaster was an interesting character in G1. He was much like Jazz. He loved Earth music, and often or not, unlike Jazz, when Blaster was concerned, his love of music kind of got into more trouble with the Autobots during G1 era, which was interesting. Although his bio on the box here says he has music that even the greatest Nordic warrior would love to rock out to, which means that Blaster has discovered heavy metal. Oh dear God. But, let's see, I got everything just about right. This is what I call his boombox mode. As you can see, it is very different compared to what I do with Soundwave. I leave these up front, kind of simulating his secondary speakers with putting bigger speakers in the back. It makes them a lot blockier and square looking. And I leave this bit on the front to make him look just a little bit different. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I saw this online. I can't remember who it was. If I can remember who it is, I'll eventually put an annotation somewhere on screen. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's mine. Put him in robot mode. He is exactly the same in robot mode, and I wish they had made just some slight changes to his shoulders, just like with the wheels, because those kind of Soundwave spiky shoulders doesn't really fit Blaster all that well. I will give him one thing over Soundwave and Sound Blaster. His hands come out a lot easier than those two, which is nice. Now, you can fit his gun in his hand, which is nice. And Blaster does have that molded finger like Soundwave has, only his trigger is, well, technically supposed to be on his chest, not up, but it's still up here. And I might as well talk about it now. the cassette, or the data disc. Steeljaw. This is a really bad figure! And it sucks because Steeljaw is one of my favorite Autobot ones, and he just gets thrown under the bus. He's using the Ravage mold, which was never really good to begin with. But I think due to mold degradation, this one just really gets put through the ringer. Not only is the trigger such a hair trigger that the slightest tap will set it off, but even his molding doesn't sit well with it. His paws, what will be his front legs, will constantly pop out. And don't even bother putting him in the chest, because he will get caught and stuck, and there are times where I'm afraid, when I've tried it in the past, it's gonna break. Yeah, this mold gets it that bad. Transforming him is just a nightmare, and putting him back is a gear-grinding experience for you. It's like every Transformer you're afraid to transform because you feel like a part's gonna break in this tiny little mold. I will give it one thing. I like the head mold. Instead of just repainting Ravage, they actually went and remolded the head. I'll give them credit. They did that. They even repainted his back, which I'll show when I do the cassette reviews, because I'm doing them separate. They actually gave him a new back, so it looks like he has his old blasters. I'll give him that. They at least attempted something different, but the mold just suffers so bad, and that keeps happening. This pops off like at a drop of a hat. I almost want to actually go out and buy a second blaster to see if the Steeljaw in that package is just as bad. Because if it is, I will say it is probably the worst of the cassettes. If not the worst. But yeah, maybe I'm just being unlucky and it's just mine, but as far as I can see, he just got thrown under the bus when it comes to the mold. And it's a shame since he's the one packaged with Blaster. But Blaster himself is pretty nice, and if you go to get the other cassettes, it is a nice touch. I do love the remolded chest. It looks nice. You can also see that speaker. They did keep the speaker molding on yep, see, they kept the speaker molding, which was on Soundwave. They kept it under there. That's nice. The head, I've been told, is supposed to be more like the comic book Blaster. This is where I hope a third party will come in and make a Blaster that is more like grinning rather than scowling. Because I'd love to have a Blaster that looks like he's about ready to just bust out into a breakdance, rather than one that looks like it needs to pass a Cybertronian kidney stone. But besides that, it's a great figure. This is nothing to be real happy about, but if you keep him in his beast mode, he's not that bad, as long as you don't mess with him too much. But yeah, I think his cassettes are a lot better, and I'm going to do the cassettes by Autobot and Decepticon, so yeah, stay calm. But until next time, this is Titan Zed saying, I'll see ya when I see ya.